As many of my friends know, we bought a farm. It's another 20 minutes west of here, and it's closer to our farm where we have a big metal building, and I was going to finish that off. We were going to make it a Barndominium, and I spent months coming through plans and building, project plans and designing what that space would look like. And Emily and I worked on that for months, and I just never could come up with a plan that made any sense. I was going to wind up sinking a lot of money into a barn that would have been really nice for us, but it would be a very expensive property. When it was said and done, it would have a lot of money tied up in it, and no one else would really ever need or want what we were going to build. And plus, the logistics of just building it and insuring it and financing it, it was just a nightmare on all fronts. And I don't give up on projects easily. I am generally a person who can see things through, but it was just thing after thing after thing, and they all pointed towards this is a bad decision. So we are going to keep our farm, and we're going to keep the building, and we may make a small Barndominium out of it at some point, but it's not going to be what we were envisioning, which was going to be a place where our whole family could come over and spend holidays and blah, blah, blah. That was just going to be too much. And we visited Charleston, South Carolina, and I looked at a bunch of old houses, and Emily and I started off in an old house in Springfield, Tennessee. It was a 100-year-old house when we lived in it. It was built in the late 1800s, and we always liked it, I think houses are fun, but they're also a huge source of headache, and they consume a lot of money. And I had 4 kids, a career, Emily was working, and we had other things we had to do, and fixing an old house is not on our list. But we went to Charleston, South Carolina, kind of as I was building out this Barndominium idea, and I just thought, what if we bought an old house? Now that we're old and have time and energy to kind of fix it up and make it nice. And like I said, I started chasing down on the internet one afternoon, actually found this house after like an hour of searching around, and Emily and I talked about a few houses across the state of Tennessee, and she just decided she didn't want to live out in the middle of nowhere. And this house was between Nashville and our farm, and it was an over 100-year-old house. It's a great house, I think. It's big tall ceilings, and had been taken pretty good care of. The people who'd lived in it had been in it for almost 30 years, and they had taken really good care of it. And it just needs some TLC at this point, and it'll be back up and running. So that's what we're going to do.